pair of historic franchises and a pair of big-time problems on both sidelines. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan.
Hey,
glad to be with you on the NFL Preview Show, presented by Tyson Anytizers. Dallas at Kansas City. And, Pat, let's start with the Cowboys. They got down inside the 5-yard line. They couldn't punch it in to tie the Broncos last week, and now we're sitting at 2-2, and Tony Romo hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in 3 weeks. What are their biggest issues here?
Panic, because everyone thinks and have anointed them to be a Super Bowl contender every year. Just look at this team over time. They're 12-12 in their last 24 games. They're mediocre, but the media wants to paint this crowd as a great football team, and they're not. So to answer your question, Tony Romo last week was awful throwing the ball. His accuracy was terrible, and he started to lay out his receivers, and we saw Roy Williams take a terrible shot on a high pass.
And Tony Romo, for the first time since becoming a starter in 2006, has gone back-to-back weeks without throwing a touchdown pass. Pat, a lot of people wondered this year if they have the playmakers now that Terrell Owens is gone. Is that a legitimate question now as we're heading into Week 5?
Well, people have wanted to criticize Roy Williams as the replacement for Terrell Owens, but do your homework. I'm watching T.O. up in Buffalo. They're covering him single coverage. There's no roll coverage anymore. The burst is a bit gone. So let's stop thinking about the pass and focus on what you have. There's some good receivers on this team, no great ones, but I say Roy Williams is going to land up giving you 800 yards of receiving and 8 touchdowns. And the difference between that and what Terrell gave you wasn't worth the grief.
Well, the teams they've beaten this year so far in Dallas, you beat Carolina and you beat Tampa Bay, the teams you're supposed to beat. You lost to the Giants and the Broncos, maybe teams you're supposed to lose to. You're supposed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. If they struggle, then the word panic is not such a bad word here.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to struggle. I look at Kansas City. You start thinking about what they are and what they're not. They're 2-27 in their last 29 games. They are not a very good football team. They have protection issues in the offensive line. They haven't rushed the ball for a touchdown yet. That's Larry Johnson back there, folks, and he hasn't gotten to the end zone one time.
Chiefs haven't started 0-5 since 1977. That's what they're staring at with a loss to the Cowboys. Have you seen any signs of improvement through 4 weeks under Todd Haley?
I do. I'll tell you this. I think Matt Castle, he's got an 82 quarterback rating. Considering the siege of pressure on him, I think he's doing a pretty good job. If he could get Dwayne Bowe on the field all the time and healthy, I think you'd start to see them moving the football a little bit. I worry, though, about Matt taking another shot. He already took one in his knee. He could take another one, then they got some real problems. I do see some progress there, and I do think the players are starting to come around to Todd's way of thinking and the mental toughness he's trying to teach.
All right, you said you don't think that they lose this game. You said you don't think they struggle with this game, so you think the Cowboys win big.
I like the Dallas Cowboys quite a bit in this football game, and I think that they got a little revenge. The worst thing that happened to Kansas City is what happened to Dallas last week. They will come back. They'll clean up some issues. I don't trust them 2 weeks from now, but this week I think they come in and give Kansas City all they can handle.
All right, it's 1 p.m. Eastern kick, and for more on this game, stay right here with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the NFL Preview Show, presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty good man snack. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.